watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher LaPratt. My name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Uh, be sure, for anyone who's out there for the very first time, just be sure to say something in the chat so I know you're here. First time, of course, it's always free. And going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. The title tonight, it's pretty interesting. But readings are a great way to invest in yourself, your healing, and your future. Thank you all so very much for your contributions. Now, tonight's title, How Are You with How You Are, actually came out of one of my teacher training books. It's pretty cool. This book, Untethered Soul, I'd recommend it to just about anybody out there. Talks about having this seat of awareness that allows us to drop our stories more easily. But with more on that and much more to say, Christopher, without further ado here. So enjoy the show. Thanks.
Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Great blessings to you. We'll light the incense. And this show is all about you getting serious. SIRIUS, not SERIOUS. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute because it ties in with Kenan, and the theme that he suggested for tonight is, how am I with how I am? Because I have a degree, one of the degrees I have is in psychology. And if any of you have ever studied psychology, you know that there are at least 20 major personality development modules that are being used. Genetics, caregivers all have an effect on us. How you internalize, how you've been taught to internalize things. Self-preservation, self-actualization. What has led you, who has led you to who you are. And then I add spiritual influences, entities, whether good or bad, and past lives. There's a lot that comes up with who you are. But how we're trained in our society is we respond to our lives automatically most of the time, rather than deliberately. So the fact is, you have the power to overcome, because we're all self-creators, and we have the power to create what it is we want when we want it. The thing is to be deliberate. So, in one of the practices in Zen meditation is when you're meditating, meditate like your hair is on fire. Well, what does that mean? It means if your hair is on fire, you're going to be a little bit focused, right? You're going to be very deliberate, and you're not going to be distracted. That is how you meditate. That is how you can surpass these, oh my God, here's a Facebook test on my personality. Oh my God, this is so great. I'm an aardvark. What? How does knowing that you're an aardvark help you? You know, I'm the color purple, green, and blue. Oh, they're entertaining, and they're entertaining the surface. And that's why I love when I look at the show, and all of you have been with me, most of you have been with me since the very beginning, and I can tell energetically how much you've grown, and you can tell how much you've grown. So this is, this is staying away from the Popeye. This is I am what I am. Okay, and there's no wrongness or badness or anything in that. But also there's no progress. And what's interesting about that neurologists, neuroscientists have found that 95% of the human brain is adaptive, unconscious. No, you can't. No, you should never peel the potato this way. You have to peel the potato this way. But you never think about it. It's adaptive behavior. And when somebody comes around and tells you to put sugar on your sweet potatoes, you're like, what? No, you never put sugar. You get what I mean. It's adaptive, unconscious behavior. And 95% of our brain's power. I know Abby and Marilyn, when you came out to the seminar and we had the neuroscientist come and talk, that was one of the things that he brought out. So it's what happens is our current interactions tap into the past interactions. And so we're behaving automatically. And to change that, it takes deliberate work. Like your hair's on fire. So, what is the origin of what we say now? Why did I say that? Now, we're not going for perfection here. Because progress, it's progress, not perfection. So just even taking one moment of one day going, now, why did I say that? Where did that come from? And I've said this to you many times, is to put a sticky note on your bathroom mirror, on your computer, on the bedroom ceiling. Where is this coming from? And you can call me, you can text me. I might be able to give you a little bit of insight, but that's what these readings are about, okay? And the show is about overcoming, this show is about overcoming this conditioning that we've all been raised with. And we have the ability to choose every minute. So now let's get serious. Really, let's get serious. Group card?
Yeah, there you go.
Look at the group card. Sirius. S-I-R-I-U-S. And Edna, I really appreciate you because you knew immediately the dog star. But here's what's interesting about this. This was the most important star. It is the brightest star in the sky. And it was very, very important to ancient civilizations, Egypt being one of them. In fact, the new year, our new year, comes from Sirius. Because toward the end of December is when Sirius is the brightest, or it's midnight, it's between midnight and dawn. So it's such a beautiful guiding light toward the end of our year, but that's where the New Year celebration came from. It came from the celebration of the coming of Sopdep, S-O-P-D-E-P, D-T, S-O-P-D-E-T, Sopdet. So it's the coming of Sopdet, which was, they called Sirius. But here's the beauty of it. It's the middle of the winter solstice, the nights are the longest, and here's this bright star. And this symbolizes for all of you on the show tonight is light in the darkest of times. That's the beauty of this. And when we're uncertain, this is when you seriously connect to Sirius. I love that. And it will help you, hopefully it'll help you remember it. Come on, just get serious, okay? Just get serious. I think that might be my new motto. Come on, just get serious. Because here's the point. Whatever dreams you have, whatever dreams have been revisiting you, they're not dreams. They're premonitions. And whatever is going on the inside of you, you will eventually create into the physical form. That's how powerful we are. That's how powerful Sirius is. So think about what it is you want. And during these readings, if you have any questions or you need one or would like some clarification, Kenan is here. Kenan is the producer of the show. He can read your I want to call them texts, but he can read what's in the chat. He can read your chat and stop me and ask me the question. So I want to add that to the show. And we've got the first person on is Marilyn Pitts. Thank you, my dear Marilyn, for being here. All right. You know, I've got like 20 decks, so let's want to choose the deck that feels good. If you're new to the show, what we do is we pick an order that you came into the show and said hello. If you're watching, please, whatever platform you're using, say something. Say hello, hi, so we know you're here so that I can pull a card for you. So Marilyn, this is the Sirius star. This is the celebration star. It is looking at really the joy of life and everything that you've had, no matter how dark it was, there's always that star. There's always the star. This is you celebrating one of the things that's that would be fun for you is putting on some 70s or 80s music and dancing. You don't have to dance in the street. I'm not saying that. But it's really important for you to have movement. And dancing is such a great, it moves the lymph system, the muscles, the blood flow. And, you know, you mentioned to me over the weekend when I did your private reading about your brother coming in. You could feel him, and then you heard him, and it scared you. When he said, I still am laughing about this. If you guys weren't on the show, Marilyn's brother passed away, and they were very close. And she felt him, and then she heard him say, "Oh my God, I didn't mean to scare you," because it scared her. "I'll come back Monday." She's like, no, go to where you're supposed to be. I know you're okay, go. But it cracked me up that a spirit would say, hey, I'll come back Monday. My point of telling you this, Marilyn, is when you're dancing, you know, dance was held for, and still is in many cultures, as sacred. If you've ever been to a Native American dance or a Native American celebration, I had a client years ago. They don't, the Native Americans, there's the Hopi tribe, and it's closed to any outsiders. So no white people, no other races. It's just strictly the Hopi people. And she was telling me, she's Hopi, that her grandmother, and this woman was a doctor, and her grandmother had asked her and invited her for years to come to this snake dance. And it's not held every year. They know when to hold it when all the snakes start coming into the village. And then they put the word out They set up a day, and there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of snakes that make their way into this village. And they all go to the center of the village. And these Native Americans, they dress up in these amazingly elaborate costumes, she was telling me. And then they begin to dance. And they'll pick up these deadly rattlesnakes, deadly coral snakes, vipers, and they'll even put them in their mouth. They'll put them around them, and they will dance. And then when the dance is over, the snakes just leave. Never to be seen until maybe a year, 2, 3, 4 years later. The snakes know when to come. My point of telling you this long story, Marilyn, and everybody on the show, dance. But when you dance, dance like your hair's on fire. In other words, dance with intention. What is your intention? And this is to move, to celebrate, to live life to its fullest. Okay. Hannah?
Yes.
Okay, my dear Hannah. So, Hannah, when you fight against the current, you get exhausted. So, they tell you in the ocean, if you get caught in a rip current, swim to the side. Don't swim against it because it exhausts you. And anywhere where you've been taught not to trust, anywhere where you have the conditioning of non-trust, are you willing to let go of that? So this is caregivers, from caregivers, how you internalize things, the things you believed about yourself, or the things that you were taught to believe about yourself. Are you willing to let go of that? And then I'm seeing this river or creek in Tennessee. There's a lot of power there for you. So when you're there, spend some time by the water. See yourself becoming that water. See yourself flowing and trusting. This is absolute trust. Okay, who do we got next?
Lindsay, and then Austin.
Lindsay? Okay. Breakthrough. Lindsay, breakthrough. So if you've ever, if you've ever taken karate or taken the girls to karate or any martial arts, if you look at the 3 boards that you have to chop through, and you're looking at the boards that are on the concrete blocks, you're like, oh my God, this is impossible. If you look at the task, it can become inundating. overwhelming. But look at your power instead. Look at what you're capable of and what your perceptions are, and then those 3 boards are like slicing butter. It's, for those of you that I've never done this before, but like walking on hot coals, there's a certain mind frame that's important for you to be in. And so this is interesting that we're talking about Hannah going with the flow, and then Lindsay, you experiencing these breakthroughs with no to little effort. That's what this card is about, is being free, and the same with Hannah, being free of forcing it and just allowing the hand to break the board. Trusting, absolutely trusting, and you're experiencing some major breakthroughs, some major ahas. And so that's what this energy is about, is connecting with the serious side, the SIRIUS, knowing that you're guided, and knowing that your dreams, I will say this again, your dreams are premonitions. Okay. Who's Austin? Okay. Okay, Austin. There's not a card falling out on this deck. But wait, there's more. The giveaway. Go stand on the earth and ask the earth, how can I be of service? You're here to serve. Universe, show me who I can be of the best help today. When you're finding things aren't, sometimes there might be a little rough, or they may not be going easily for you, go donate your time or a little bit of money to someone, or just make just call someone to check in to see how they are. It doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be volunteering, but it can be of how, universe, every morning, universe, show me how I can be of service. And it will help break any cloud or any fog around what it is that you're actually needing. And you're not doing it to get. I'm not talking about that. When somebody gives us something, so if we were to win a giveaway, right? We enter a contest and we win the giveaway. We'd be like, yeah, that's awesome. But when somebody maybe tries to give us something, we're like, oh, no, I'm good. It's the same thing. It's a giveaway. Are you willing to accept the giveaway and then also pay it forward? It's going to open up, I don't know what this is exactly, Austin, but it's opening up more allowance for you. You allowing these giveaways to be given to you, but also to go how important you are to other people. What you say, what you do, who you are is of huge service. And I'm not just talking to Austin, okay? So this is an important card for all of us. All right.
Perfect. Diane, thanks.
Oh, all right, Diney. We're changing it up tonight. Okay. So when you're a little girl, you go, no, 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 don't cross the road by yourself. No, 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 don't cross the road by yourself. That's a rule, that's a law, and you better obey it when you're little and you know it. That rule doesn't work so good when you're 20. Because, yeah, you're now capable of crossing the road by yourself, right? So are you willing to look at... but if you feel like you have to cross the road with somebody else, even when you're 20 and above, then you're deceiving yourself, right? You're still hooked into at what at one time was a truth. It was a truth. You were little. You should not cross the road by yourself. But then and this is like conditioning, right? This is what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. It's conditioning where that's brought over to adulthood. So anywhere and so if you're 20 years old and you're crossing the road with someone else, you're deceiving yourself. Do you understand? That makes sense? Well, there are these belief systems that at one time were really true for you, and you needed to survive. You needed those. Otherwise, at 2 years old, as determined as you were, you'd be crossing every road by yourself. But then there were punishments or restrictions put into place around these belief systems at that time. And in still believing in them, you're deceiving yourself. So anywhere where that is the case, where you've been deceiving yourself, or where you have practiced or done confirmation bias, are you willing to let that go? And when you let that go, then the truth becomes evident. You go, oh, you know what? I'm 20 years old. I can cross the road by myself. I'm good. So this is really a great card. It's a great message for all of us. Again, it has to do with that conditioning. And what my book is about is my mother was not... We lived in this horrifically haunted house. And her mindset was, you know what? They're not going to hurt us. I mean, what harm are they doing? I'm not moving. This is my house. And she took that stance, and it actually did quite a bit of harm. So, but in the long run, we all learn from it, right? So this is letting go of that, and that's going to be happening. So it's going to be letting go. And I will tell you that when you're letting go of these spiritual, psychological, deep aspects, it can come up as illness. But it's actually just letting go. It's actually coming out through the body. But it's letting go. So just tell your body, I easily and comfortably release all I no longer need. Okay, good. Who's next?
Awesome. Edna is. She was curious about what deck the group card came out.
What?
What deck the group card came out of?
I don't know.
Okay. The series.
What
Is it
deck
your
did the
Galactic
group card
Tarot?
come out of?
That was your Galactic Tarot card, maybe.
What deck did? Okay, here. So Edna, it's called here. Kenan will put it in the chat.
Thanks.
That's really cool, Lindsay. Yeah, dream journal would be really wonderful. But also, it's just not your night dreams. It's your dreams of knowing your paintings will sell. It's getting the girls into a good school. It's dreams like that also. Okay, now who's next?
Nice. Edna.
Edna, okay.
Perfect.
Oh, Edna, yes, thank you. All right. So Edna, please, I would highly recommend, I don't care whether it's on a sticky note, whether you have Melinda make you a really pretty sign of it or mini signs of it. Universe, what else is possible? What else is possible here? And do you feel that opening up? You can feel that opening up. This is called adjacent possibilities. These are other doors opening for you. So, and the means to go through these doors will be provided for you. Like Alice, right? Alice drank a potion, got really little, went through the little door, came back, ate a cracker, grew big, went through the big door. It's you adjusting. First of all, Spirit's going, great job, Edna. You've done beautifully. But these are other jobs, other possibilities, but not just jobs. It's like, universe, what else is possible? You know, do I find a bag of gold buried on my property? Endless possibilities. That's what's opening for you. So bring your mind there rather than what you have to do. And Kenan always reminds me, you don't have to go to work, Dad. You get to go to work. And that changes the whole thing. You get to fill out those reports. You get to have a job. You get to have a house over your head. You have all of these blessings, and be a little bit more just like a person is very important for them to be wary of who they invite into their world or who they walk up to the street, especially strangers. You want to be a little bit wary of who and what you're inviting or who and what you're listening to by trusting your gut. So when you go to a doctor, you, as a nurse, you know it's important to get at least 2 or 3 opinions, other opinions. When you go to a minister and he tells you one thing, and then you go to another minister of another religion and he tells you another thing, you end up having to decide for yourself, right? This is about being discerning when it comes to, number one, allowing just anybody into your house. Number two, and you know that, number two is when you put salt at your doors and your garage or wherever it is, any opening that you have, just say only what is for my best and highest is allowed to enter here. Okay, who's next?
Great, it's Abby in Maryland.
Abby in Maryland. Okay. So I'm going to do this for both of you. This card applies to both you, Marilyn, and Abby. Are you willing to fully accept the Christ consciousness is you? It's not out there. It's not, as we've talked about before, it's not about a church or another person. This is called the healer of the ages. And you're actually getting downloads from Christ. In some ways we all are, but this is specific. And one of the things, and this is healer, like this is you being a healer, both of you being healers. Be free of going, what? No. Make a way, Abby, make a way for this to be, just hear me. Okay, just hear me. Marilyn Pitts, the doctor said, I believe, Marilyn, and correct us if I'm wrong, that they weren't sure how Larry survived from that heart attack. Well, again, it's this Christ consciousness. And you're developing this power, Marilyn and Abby, big time. And one of the main things is to heal or help heal broken hearts. Now, that could mean literally, or spiritually, emotionally. And here's the thing. You don't have to do a specific ceremony. You don't have to do a certain hand mudra position. You can simply sit there and even not say anything. But it's this energy, it's this Christ consciousness. There were healings that Christ did that had nothing to do with touching the person. Your words are becoming more powerful, so pay attention much more closely to what it is that you're saying. And is this healing me? Is it healing others? Yeah, these are really powerful cards. The Christ consciousness. I don't know, do you have your cameras? Did you take a picture of that? I love that card. And then this one is the healing specifically of the heart. To help people love again. That's your gifts. Okay, now who do we have?
Very good. It's Abby in Maryland, and then Scott Ambrosi, and then Teresa Mason.
Okay. Hey, Rosie. Okay. Here we go. Give me just a moment. Words to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Okay. Now, Scott, you may not understand this right away. Salakadu, la minthica boo, la bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together, and what have you got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Salakadu, la mythica boo, la bibbidi bobbidi boo. It'll do magic, believe it or not. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Now, if all of you, probably past the age of 40, leave this program and are singing this song, more power to you. But the thingamabob that does the job is bibbidi bobbidi boo. Salakadoo, la mythica boo, la bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together, and what have you got? Bibbidi bobbidi, bibbidi bobbidi, bibbidi bobbidi boo. That's this card. Your words, everyone's words are powerful. If there are gates closed, this girl has a key around her neck, but she thinks she can't get to the other side of the garden because the gate is locked. But it's not. Her voice, her throat, her words unlock the gate. So what is it you want? And verbalize it. And then hone it down. Progress, not perfection. This is gates opening for you, and use your words. Use your words. You know when you would tell a little kid, use your words. This is the bibbidi bobbidi boo. This is the magic of our. I mean, I hope all of you Google that fairy godmother song that she's singing to Cinderella after the show, because it's just this magic, and this is your magic, your voice, but it's not just your voice, it's how you express yourself. I will say this, your expression. So Lindsay, Austin, Diane, everyone on the show, Abby, Marilyn Pitts, Hannah, it's your words and your magic. And so I will say this to Hannah as well, too, right? You're a singer. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. It's magic. Use your words, use your expression. However, whatever that is. Stained glass, wreaths, whatever. Okay.
Teresa Mason.
And then we've got Kat and
Yeah, Jared and Kat.
okay, so Teresa. So, Teresa, I see you either speaking or teaching a class or a group of people. Be free, and I'm going to say this to Scott too. Be free of what you're going to say. It's not the words, it's the energy behind your expression. Okay? So this is your expression coming through. It's the door to spirit. So be free of worrying so much about what you're going to say, but get the feeling. No matter, I can't rehearse what I'm going to say to anyone, but I know that it's this kind of spirit that goes out to you. Okay, that's the important thing. Okay, and then we have Eliza. Somebody.
Yeah. I don't know if they actually.
Okay, so this is for you, Teresa. Is be free of worrying what you're supposed to say to people or what you're going to say to people. Just know that it's going to be there and the right thing will be said. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person because you've got this spirit coming through you. Okay, Mason, here we go. So, Mason, this is maybe doing a little studying on birds. What kind of birds do we live around in Arizona? What kind of sounds do they make? This is your ability to hear different sounds. And so I highly recommend you look at what, start looking up what kind of birds live in Arizona. What sounds do they make? What colors are they? Because birds are very symbolic of spirit. Okay? All right.
So you got Teresa and Mason both, and then
Yep.
Jared and Kat.
Okay. And then Jared and Kat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You're teaching art to Mason's class on Friday. So that's perfect, Teresa. What you're saying, it doesn't matter what you're going to be saying. It's just this joy from spirit that you're going to be emitting, and they will feel it. It will be the feeling of it. Focus on that. All right, Kat. So it's spa day for you. Like you're wanting to open a spa. Your dreams are premonitions. That's going to happen. But it's really important to take some time off. And when you take time off like your hair's on fire. Like really focus on you. And stay focused on you like you would if your hair was on fire, okay? It's like taking a vacay and sleeping in, getting some rest. Okay. And then we've got Jared. So we talked about Marilyn and Abby earlier about Jesus Christ. This is Mary. The mother of Christ on earth. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on the nativity scenes. She's very real. I mean, she's definitely in spirit form with you and around you. So in your doctor's office or in your office, take one of those nativity scenes, take Mary and put it on your desk or put it in your room somewhere at work. Know that she's blessing you. I don't know why this is coming across so strong, but it's this angel of love. She is an angel of love. Like, she is the personification of love. And it will remind you it's all about love. It's all about loving what you do, loving who you're with, loving who you are. This is all loving, but this is through the nativity scene.
Yeah, if you want to do a read for this, Eliza.
Okay, and Eliza, thank you so much for being here. Hope you can hear us now. All right. So children don't really have a concept of time, right? It's why they're, when you take them on a road trip, they're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? This is like a mother coming through, Eliza, that's like, no, we're not there yet, but almost. We're almost there. It's an encouragement for you to keep moving forward. Tomorrow will be a different day. Tomorrow will be completely new for you, a new outlook, a new way of looking at things, a new revelation. It's what keeps us alive, right? It's like learning a new dance step. When we were talking to Marilyn Pitts, the very first card that came up, and putting music on and dancing to that music, it re-energizes the brain. It brings you back to, like, if Marilyn, if your era was the 90s, listen to that decade of music that you mostly love. Okay? Because it will help set your brain back to that age, that point. And Eliza, you know, you've been around the block, and you know that absolutely life will change, and it's going to change for the better and for the... It's like I hear this little kid going, for the gooder, okay? But it's this mother around you, this mothering around you to take care of you and guide you and to tuck you in. And they're talking, I don't know if you're feeling when you're going to bed at night, this presence, but I feel like you have this presence around you at night. It's almost like tucking you in. You don't always feel that, but when you're needing it, it's there. Like this mother energy, this loving presence is there to protect and guide and love. So know that you're not ever alone. And so it's really interesting that it came after Jared's card, which was the Mother Mary. Yeah. So know that you're guided. Okay, we have everybody? We'll do this again Wednesday night. I love you all. And just to reiterate, your dreams, whether they're at night or premonitions, hone on them. Make your dreams more concrete. Narrow them down. Build them out, right? Like Lindsay, if you're still watching, you know, when you're doing a painting, you have a base coat, right? Put a base coat on your dreams. Then put the primary colors or whatever. Build it, right? Because it's being manifested into the physical. So I want to bring these great blessings to you all, and we'll do this again Wednesday night. Thank you.